Let's talk about sewing on thin fabrics or slippery fabrics. I do not do a lot of this, so these are very, very basic tips. Number one, you want to use the right needle. So right now I still have the jeans needle in here that I was using in the last video. And when I sew with that needle, it sews all right, but you can see that it's made some runs at the stitches. It's caught some of the threads because it's really not designed for such a fine fabric. It's made little runs right there. It's broken and caught threads and then made these little runs in the fabric. So I'm going to switch the needle. Because I don't do a lot of sewing on this kind of fabric, I don't actually have a specific needle for this, but I put in a ballpoint needle for jersey fabric, and we'll try that one. You can see that most of that pulling and running has gone away just because we switched to a ballpoint needle from a sharp point needle. So the needle tips do matter when you're using specialty fabrics and thin fabrics. Again, if you're using many layers of this and they keep on shifting around while you're sewing, you might want to consider getting a walking foot for that. And lastly, if it's very thin material and you're starting on points and stuff, or you're starting the edge and your machine keeps on eating the edge of the fabric, a very easy way to fix that, or even to just stabilize seams as you're going along so they don't end up getting eaten by the machine, is to sew over a piece of paper, just like this. You can start right on an edge with the paper underneath. Have a slightly shorter stitch length. Hold your two threads. That always helps. And then just sew along on top of the fabric. You can get a nice neat start that doesn't get eaten up by the machine. The end doesn't get eaten into the machine, and then you can just rip off the paper. Using smaller stitch length like this and not a very thick paper makes it easy to just rip off the paper when you're done. They also sell stabilizers, wash away stabilizers that do the same thing. I'm sure that if you Google about sewing with specialty fabrics, you will find lots of great information to help you on that. If you do lots of stitching on specialty fabrics, you might want to invest in a straight stitch needle plate and a straight stitch presser foot. These just have one single little hole in here. They're not designed for doing zigzag. They just stabilize the fabric a little more because they just have one little hole for the needle to go through. This is the foot, what a foot would look like. And then on the needle plate, the same thing. This is my regular throat plate, needle plate for my other machine, and see, it's got a really big spot here for the needle to go through because it needs to be able to do the zigzag. It needs to be able to go down here and then down here, right? Go back and forth. But I can, if I want to, put on this throat plate instead, which just has this single hole, just big enough for the needle to go straight down. No zigzagging with this throat plate. It's a lot harder for light, delicate fabrics to get dragged down into the machine with this little tiny hole. But that's just if you're doing a lot of sewing with specialty fabric. Using a piece of paper or other kind of stabilizer will get you through most projects that you have.